As a young girl, Nora Tideman's father, Tobias, teaches her the mythology of trolls and the origin of their local mountains. During one story, Nora almost sees the faces of trolls turn to stone in the rock face. Years later, a drilling operation tunneling through the mountains of Davra results in an eruption and the deaths of several workers and protesters. Desperate for answers, the Norwegian government recruits a diverse array of scientists, including Nora, who is now a paleontologist on her first major find. While the collected scientists initially believe that the eruption was caused by the miners hitting a pocket of methane, only Nora and the Prime Minister's advisor, Andreas Isaacson, point out that the region is surrounded by large impressions that appear to be footprints. The Prime Minister permits them to investigate the possibility further with Norwegian military soldier, Captain Chris Holm, when a second incident miles away tears apart the home of an elderly couple near Lesja. Nora begins to believe that a troll may be responsible, and the three seek assistance from Tobias, who has since lost his professorship for his belief in the existence of a real basis for mythical creatures. After a quick search of the mountains, Tobias identifies a topographical anomaly, and the four accidentally awaken the slumbering troll, having camouflaged itself on the mountainside. They escape, capturing the first tangible video proof of Nora's theory. The Prime Minister arranges a military operation led by Chris. However, conventional weapons only annoy the troll. Tobias tries communicating with the troll but is killed when the creature is startled by more gunfire. Researching the mythology, Nora recommends a sonic attack using church bells, but it enrages instead of incapacitates the creature, causing immense collateral damage. Following the rampage, international news outlets pick up the story and broadcast it globally. As the troll heads to Norway's capital Oslo, the Prime Minister orders a complete evacuation of the city. After learning of the government's plan to destroy the troll with a nuclear bomb on Oslo, Nora and Andreas object, but are dismissed from the task force. Nora makes a last attempt to find out the truth about the creature. Tobias' notes lead them to the royal palace, where they meet Chief of Court Rikard Sinding, who reveals the truth about trolls in Norway. Tobias had been right all along. Trolls had been living in Norway until they were wiped out by Christian settlers, and the truth buried in folklore. When Nora's father got too close to the truth, Sinding had him discredited and committed to a mental health hospital. The royal palace was built on top of the Troll King's palace after the Christians massacred his family and left him for dead inside a cavern in the Davra Mountains. Nora concludes that the creature is heading for Oslo in an attempt to return home. Discovering that trolls are vulnerable to direct sunlight, Nora and Chris plan to expose the troll to UV light from a number of tanning beds. While Chris calls on fellow soldiers to make the troll trap, Andreas asks his friend Sigrid at the secret government facility to delay the bombing of Oslo. Sigrid hacks into the military system to halt the nuclear strike. Nora and Andreas place the skull of one of the troll's babies in the back of the Queen's truck and lure him to the UV light trap. Nora has a last-minute change of heart, turns off the lights, and tries to save the creature's life. However, the sun then rises into a clear sky and kills the troll. Nora watches in disbelief, empathizing with the creature's torment. As the transformation completes, the enormous troll is frozen in its tracks, now a massive stone figure standing in the field. The military's missile strike is aborted at the last moment, and the enormous stone figure of the troll becomes a testament to the story's dramatic climax. With the immediate threat dealt with, the government's response is to cover up the events and chalk it all up to a severe storm causing damage. However, Nora, the captain, and Andreas decide to keep the truth alive. They smuggle out the video evidence, making it available to the public. This bold action transforms them into whistleblowers, exposing a truth that the government had intended to hide. As the dust settles, Nora is left with a profound sense of loss for her father and the troll, creatures misunderstood and feared because they didn't conform to society's norms. Despite her initial fear and confusion, Nora's curiosity and understanding grow into respect and compassion for the troll, a sentiment she expresses by calling it a mountain king. In her father's memory, Nora resolves to keep his legacy alive, starting an institute dedicated to the study and protection of trolls, should there be more out there. She hopes that humanity might learn to coexist with these fascinating creatures. Andreas supports her, offering his experience as an advisor and his newfound respect for the natural world. The film ends with Nora staring out at the vast mountains, where she grew up and learned from her father. She carries with her his last words and his love for the mountains and their lore.